Hey there, it is Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
We are so excited about having these guys on the show. The last time, by the way, it's Cameron Parkhurst and Colin Beasley. The last time we had Cameron with us in studio, Toby was with us, and that was 1965. So welcome back, Cameron.
Even before I was born. I'm not sure how we did it, but, we did.
It was a miracle. It was a miracle.
We're going to talk about FOMO worship. It is out, and you can listen to it. In fact, I was listening to it this morning, but here to talk about it, Colin and Cameron. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Good to see you guys. And just having the two of you on just makes our show look 10 times better just by having you. So, you guys need to be on more often.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're so glad to be here. Thank you guys so much for having us on.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We do want to talk about FOMO worship, and we're going to play a song from that project. But first, we've been asking all of our guests, it's Christmas time. I want to find out what the Beasleys and the Parkhursts are doing for Christmas. Who wants to start?
You got it.
Well, we're driving out to Mississippi following Christmas Eve service on Saturday. And we're going to be there probably until Thursday.
Mississippi. Now, is there anything to do in Mississippi for around Christmas time? I mean,
well, there's a really comfortable couch at my grandmother's house that I'm looking at. And
I like the way you think.
Yeah, a couple platefuls of food. I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. What about in the Parkhurst household, Cameron?
We're hanging out here. Got some family coming into town to spend Christmas morning with us. And then a few days after that, I think like 2 days after Christmas, me and my family and some of my friends were driving out to Dallas, Texas to go to Passion 2023, spending the week there, and then heading up to spend some time with my family in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. It'll be awesome.
Yes, that is awesome.
All right, real quick, on the Christmas list, number one, Colin.
A vacuum cleaner. My very own vacuum cleaner. My 5-year-old nephew asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I told him a vacuum cleaner because I want something that is just for my space that no one else can use.
Okay.
If it gets broken or it stays good, then it's because of me,
You're a simple man, a vacuum cleaner. I like that. Okay.
A good one, not just one of those.
Yeah.
Not one of those cheap ones that doesn't pick anything up.
No.
Not one that sucks, but one that sucks.
See what he did there.
Beat him, Rick.
Cameron, what about you? Don't say a vacuum cleaner. We can't.
Oh man. Okay, so we've got a new pup in the house. His name's Bo. And that's the Cajun spelling. That's the B-E-A-U-X.
Oh, with the silent X. Okay.
All right.
He's a few months old, and my Christmas wish is for him to exit his puppy energy and rowdiness because like when they're super tiny, super little, it's like all cute because he's like this big and he's jumping around and it's adorable. But now he's like this big, but still puppy brain. And so he's just wild. And so if I could have a Christmas wish, would be that Bo would make some New Year's resolutions to be a little more.
Well,
good luck with that.
Yeah.
We hope that happens. Well, let's talk about FOMO worship. What a great project you guys have put together and put out. Whose idea was it? And kind of take us through the just the thumbnail sketch of how you put it together.
Come on.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, we were doing an event at church called Reach Out. And I'm a music producer. Not really by trade, but by love and heart, whatever. I don't know. I just love it. And I wanted to serve the youth by doing something that I love. So I put together a worship night full of songs that they knew, but in a different arrangement with like updated sounds and stuff. We did that. It was really successful. I feel like we saw some fruit from that. The whole point of the night was to teach kids that worship isn't just reading words on a screen and lifting your hands up, but it's engaging, like it's turning your heart towards the Father and being in the moment with him and ascribing worth to him and telling him who he is and remembering who you are in him. So,
and the whole vision behind it was for them to make their faith their own. So that's what FOMO stands for, is faith of my own. And it's funny because when we were talking about the name, he was like, I just feel like we should call it FOMO worship. And I said, I remember saying, yeah, but don't you think people are going to get that mixed up with the,
fear of missing out? Yeah.
And he said, fear of missing out on all that God has for me.
Oh, look at Colin.
So anyways, yeah, we had that worship night.
Yeah, so the worship night turned into me sitting there with all these tracks that I'd built, not knowing what to do with them. So I recorded a song for our first album that's There's Nothing That Our God Can't Do. And I got a few of the other students involved, and they just came in and recorded. A few of them were on accident just for fun, and they turned into songs that were going to be on the album. And we had a few options that we didn't go with, but it turned out to be really awesome for our youth group. It was something that they could hold on to and look at and say, this is something we did together, because there were a lot of kids involved. And then the second time around, Cameron and I were just writing together. And I had done a mission trip in Slovakia where I wrote a bunch of songs, and those were kind of finished, and he helped me wrap them up. We got a bunch of kids involved, and then a guy that goes to our church, he's the music producer on it. His name's Jonathan Deakins, but he goes by Arid, so you can find him ARYD on Spotify. He's incredible. So I don't think we could have done what we did without his help.
Well, I love that you guys are doing this specifically aimed at youth, because, I mean, you guys know we see so many youth leaving the church nowadays, especially after they graduate from high school and go off to college. They leave, and a lot of them aren't coming back. Yeah. And we need things that are focused on youth and getting them involved and making their faith their own. So how are you guys encouraging that in the youth there at the church?
Good question.
Man, I think too many, just people in general, not just youth, honestly,
right.
People in general grow up, or they spend some time in the church, and what they receive from the church is a lot of religion. It's a lot of, Jesus described it as the burdens and the weight that the religious people put on you, and they themselves aren't able to carry it, but they just load you up. And so I think a lot, what we are trying to do is to capture the heart of Jesus in the freedom from religion, the freedom from having to be something, trying to do enough or do right things or act a certain way, but for them to really understand that they're not alive to do things for God. I mean, we absolutely give our lives, and we obey and we bend ourselves to Him because He's a King. But first and foremost, man, we're alive because God has filled us with breath, and we are alive to know Him and to delight in Him because He delights in us. And so any way that we can communicate that to them, that this is not religion, this is not just tradition, this is not just growing up in a Christian home or just coming around Christian people to be a better person. Like this is the God of the universe in pursuit of your heart right now, here, right now, in this moment. He wants to be close, and He wants to bring you in, and He wants to, through that relationship, through that love relationship, actually create you into a new person and transform you from the inside out, but all the way from relationship. So that's kind of the angle that we're trying to take. We never want to heap anything other than that onto young people.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Colin Beasley and Cameron Parkhurst talking about FOMO Worship. It is out. I heard it this morning on Spotify. Where else do you have it?
Apple Music,
everywhere.
YouTube Music, Tidal, Pandora,
Amazon
iHeart.
Music.
Yeah, Amazon Music, anywhere you can stream it.
Like and subscribe.
That's right.
You'll see a little pop-up right
there. Right there. There you go. So let's talk about one of the songs, and we'll play one of the songs here. You said you guys wanted to talk about Redefining Close. Talk about the song, and then we'll play some of it here for you.
Yeah, so I wrote Redefining Close back in probably 2018 or 2019. And I was just going through a time where I felt like God wasn't really giving me much, and that I was suffering in my prayer life because I didn't trust Him to give me much. And I was reading the scripture in Psalm. It says, you're not holding back any good thing from those who live a righteous life. I think it's Psalm 81. And I started with that chorus, you're not holding back any good thing. Father, pull me in, you're redefining close, because the things we see as close don't even compare to the closeness of God.
Right.
So I wanted to capture that in a song. And then in the verses, I wrote down, my soul glorifies the Lord that I'm not the way I was. and my soul glorifies the Lord.
I have to remember how it goes.
I'm not my darkest parts.
Yeah.
I'm not my darkest parts.
Oh,
So,
I like that. Not my
and
part.
it's funny because if Cameron hadn't, I wanted to keep this song. I wanted this song to be on my project, but Cameron fought and said, no, I think it needs to be on this one. And if it hadn't been on this project, it wouldn't have been heard. I know that it's by far and above the most listened to song we have. That would be 1,000 or so people who wouldn't have got the message that I needed then and they need it now.
Wow. So, well, let's play a little bit of it. Let's see if I can get it on here without breaking things here. So here we go. A little bit of Redefining Close.
My soul glorifies the Lord, that I am not my darkest parts. What grace to be a sinner, yet be so deeply loved. The only chains that hold me down are the ones that I allow. In the name of Jesus Christ, I am free and I'm alive right now. I'ma live like I believe it, so I hold my head up high where it should be. Listen way above when I'm feeling low. You're not holding back any good thing. Father, pull me in, redefining close. My soul glorifies the Lord, that I am not the way I was. What grace forgives a debtor, that's what my God does. Ever faithful, ever sure, never faint or insecure. In the name of Jesus Christ, all the shame and all the lies fall to the floor. I'ma live like I believe it, so I hold my head up high where it should be. Lifting way above when I'm feeling low. You're not holding back any good thing. Father, pull me in, redefining close.
All right, there we go. Redefining Close. Just a little bit of it there.
That's
Great
good
job,
stuff.
guys. Good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know who it was, but the beginning when they go, who is that?
That was you?
That was me.
Colin. Wow.
Now who's doing the vocal? Who's doing the vocal leads on that?
That's Kinsey Simpson. She was one of our students, and now she's one of the leaders in the middle school ministry.
Awesome. Very cool. She sounds great.
Doesn't she?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can get it wherever you get your music. It's FOMO Worship, and it is good stuff. At FOMO Worship is a great place. Why don't you introduce real quick, even though they're not all there with you, the folks that were involved in this in whatever capacity.
All right. Well, Cameron Parkhurst, Colin Beasley. We had Jonathan Deakins, our music producer. We have Kinsey Simpson, Zeke Baker, all the people that were on the intro track reading scriptures.
Natalie Serrallo.
Natalie Serrallo, Avery Parkhurst, his sister. Oh my gosh, who else was on it? Was that
Brendan Brown?
Brendan Brown, heck yeah, go Brendan.
James King,
you better.
We had some electric guitar from Nick Aidenham.
Yeah.
A lot of people involved in this
Yeah.
project, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Although Rick, you noticed Rick and Dan were not mentioned in that list. So on the next
And
FOMO worship,
Rick
Rick
and
and
Dan.
Dan will be
And Rick
here.
and Dan. Yes, of course.
Hey, I love it. Not only is the content solid, but I love the sound, and thank you for continuing to push for better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't need to be playing 80s worship music. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right.
We love good Father, but we've had enough.
We've had enough of it, yes.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much. We hope you have a Merry Christmas. We want folks to listen to this and also show up to hear you play the stuff as well. It's Colin Beasley and Cameron Parkhurst from FOMO Worship and the crew. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.